Today I'm not cooking, but I am cooking up a modification for my pit barrel cooker. And what's that mod? I'm going to be adding a silicone sensor port to the PBC. If you've watched my videos for a couple years, you would have seen that I have added sensor ports to my Oklahoma Joe's Highland offset and to the Weber rotisserie ring for the Weber kettle. Those additions make using sensor ports and the temperature probes much easier. Now, I've been just feeding the sensor wires through the holes where the hanging rods go, and that works fine. But I want a little bit more of a convenient solution so I don't have to worry about them getting pinched by those hanging rods. What I'm using today is what's basically called a silicone grommet. It'll fit in a hole that we're drilling into the PBC. And it's made for this sort of application. You'll find them in Weber Smoky Mountains and other cookers. Now, one of the things that I've found that does help when you are installing these is heat them up a little bit. Some people put them in warm water, but it's a nice hot sunny day today, so I'm actually just going to take this silicone grommet and I'm going to lay it on the sidewalk in the sun. So the first question to deal with here is location. This is the back side of the cooker opposite where the label is and the front vent is. Here is one of the studs which supports the cooking grate. And here's a seam which is along the back side of the cooker. I don't want to drill near this. I want to drill just a couple inches to the side of this stud right here. And I actually want it to be even with the stud. So that's where we're going to start our drilling. So I'm going to drill a pilot hole first just to get us started. We're ultimately going to be going up to an 1.25 inch hole using a step drill bit. We're just going to keep increasing the size until we get to the point where we can use the step bit comfortably. I've got a little bit of drilling lubricant here, some cutting fluid. I'm just going to put some in this hole to start. And I've got my step drill bit installed and we're going to be going to the 1.25 inch band on this. We're just going to take our time. All right, we should have our 1.25 inch hole there. Time to move on to the next step. All right, time to install our grommet. And I'm going to put it with this circular indentation, the circular entry right there, because that's where I actually like to put my ambient temperature probe so it can just poke in and just kind of hold there. That's the way I do it on the Weber kettle rotisserie ring. And that should keep it just below the grate level so it doesn't interfere with that grate being lifted in or out if you have the probe in there. So now this is just a little bit of a process. You just got to start working it in there. Sometimes a little dish soap will help if it's a little too stiff. And there we go. And so here's the ambient temperature probe that can go straight through there. Feed my other temperature probe through this upper slot. Then the ambient temperature probe can rest below grate level. And the temperature probe for the food is right at grate level. And that's it. So that's it, a fairly easy modification to the pit barrel cooker to give an access port for your sensor probe wires and your probes. Works great, just takes a little bit of effort. And I'm not an expert by any means, and you saw that I could do that. Just take your time, have the proper safety equipment, glasses, gloves, and you'll do fine.